Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Brahma Mirascha Parantakare. Banusha Shiva Misato. Buddha Guru Shukra. Shani Rahu Keteva. Sarve Graha Shanti Karabhavantu. Om. Om Hrim Gurave Namaha. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Kev 100. Basically your weekly astro video zine, although sometimes I do have to take a break or I take vacations, but this is going to be for June 28th, Friday through July 4th, 2024. As for Friday, what we're seeing is we've got ourselves a moon that we would see in the sky in the constellation of Pisces, actually. And, and before I get into this, I just want to say thank you for your comments. I appreciate you. I appreciate seeing you and getting your responses. And I, look forward to meeting some of you in person. So, when I say like moons in constellation of Pisces, I'm talking a sidereal zodiac, what you'd actually see in a telescope or, with the naked eye, what part of the sky you're looking at. So the moon's in Pisces on Friday, according to Jyotish, according to Vedic astrology. Now, most of this forecast is based on Western astrology, tropical, which most people in this culture are more familiar with. But I think it's important to acknowledge that things have moved and there is a science to that, and I'm a real proponent of the science of light, of Jyotish. And the funny thing is that, in Christ's time, they pretty much matched. They, at least around 125 AD, you'd hit the 23rd of September and you would see 0 degrees Libra rising in the morning. Nowadays, you'll see like 6 degrees Virgo rising because everything's moved back 24 degrees. Now, with that said, the moon, according to the Indian astrology of Jyotish, is in a lunar mansion known as Uttara Bhadrapada, and it'll probably go into Revati by the end of today. And so these are the last 2 nakshatras in the zodiac. And Uttara Bhadrapada, its focus is on the cooling down of the funeral pyre, actually. It's the tail end of the funeral pyre, and it's ruled by Saturn. And its ruling deity is known as the Serpent of the Deep in Urdbunya. And so it's like the sky, the cosmos is kind of like the ocean. There's like this swirling energy. And because of this serpent image that we get in it too, it's like we're kind of removing our skin. And in the funeral pyre, everything of the worldly concerns is gone. And then we go into kind of like the soul judgment of getting out of the body into just soul in Revati. And Uttara Bhadrapada is ruled by Saturn. And so there's some really good qualities to this release. Saturn is really a graha of completion in a lot of ways, as well as Mercury. Mercury is kind of the story of our lives after they're all done. And we'll see that in Revati. It's Pisces, 2 fish going in 2 different directions. That'll be later this afternoon and tomorrow. And I think, one of the things to just sort of keep in mind, tomorrow is that the moon will be in the Gandanta. It'll be in this knot between a Vedic water sign and a fire sign. And, things get, as people take on a new aim in life, things can be a little bit churned up, because we're kind of completing things. So today and tomorrow are really good days to complete projects as well, I would say. And but if you're watching this, Friday morning, it's still, I would imagine, in Uttara Bhadrapada, and there's a sort of a peaceful, resolve. There's a sense of generosity and goodness and less amount of anger and resistance than maybe the day before. And so, in Western astrology, we have ourselves a moon in Aries today. And so it's also kind of like a new start moon. And, sun's in Cancer in Western astrology. That's another cardinal sign. Aries is a cardinal sign. There's sort of this motivation. We're going into this week with a little bit of motivation. And of course, by Sunday, the moon will be in Ashvini, which is Vedic Aries, and that's just, there's going to be this whole freshness as we go through this week, even though we're winding things down with a waning moon, and by a week from Friday, we're going to have a new moon, and that new moon will be in Punarvasu, and that is like the archer taking aim, and it's also significant of people taking vacations in a lot of ways and having a nice home. So working on our goals, there'll be a lot of freshness coming on as we get into this week. Other thing that happens in Western astrology, we're also going to have Mercury move into Leo on Tuesday, so I think people will be much bolder in their conversations and really expressing their heart as we go through this week. So we're just going to do this right now, sign by sign, starting with you, Aries, and we'll go through this. So greetings, Aries, welcome to your horoscope. Now, Mars is in Taurus, okay? So Mars in Taurus is known as the bridge builder. And really, at this point, Mars has moved into a place where you can try and have more beautiful speech, watching what we say. I mean, I think that's one of the 4 agreements, is being impeccable with your word. And so for Aries, I think that's a really good focus this week. It's also Cancer time is like about family reunions. It's about your mother. It's a lot of 4th house experiences that are pretty strong right now. And, most of us do not get everything we need when we're growing up and we're being nurtured. And this is not a blame thing. It's like, we're imperfect humans. We're having a human experience. We're here to learn. We're here to face our karma. We're here to get better with things. And right now it's like, honor your emotions, honor your family, honor older relatives as well. It's really, for Aries, it's all about family this week. Okay, greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. Now, Mars in the 1st house gives you a certain amount of energy. It makes things clear that you want to work with the earth, and this is a good time for planting seeds, for getting ready to harvest whatever good you've already made. Cancer time is 3rd house. 3rd house is siblings, so that's brothers and sisters. It's also like the library where we get a lot of information, and curiosity and courage kind of go together. Mars gets exalted in the 3rd house because it brings about, a sense of courage. Now, where's Venus? Well, Venus is in Cancer in the 3rd house, and 3rd house is, can give you courage to meet your neighbors, meet somebody that you like, that you've seen in a coffee house or at a class you're taking or at the workplace, and having a, just being sweet, giving compliments to people, kindness, not expecting necessarily anything in return. And if you have sisters, there might be more of a focus on them, or long-standing female friends. Okay, greetings, Gemini, welcome to your horoscope. Having Jupiter in the 1st house is a real gift. When you're a Mercury-ruled sign, utilizing Jupiter is not always easy, because Mercury is sort of like the perpetual student, and Jupiter's a master of education, master of spirituality, master of knowledge of events past, present, and future, and being able to guide people into a good situation. Jupiter really, for For male persons, this is where like your highest qualities are going to come out, and that's, taking on spiritual leadership. So that's something that you might want to invest in and do as we go through the week. And yeah, there's all kinds of messed up actions that people in religious or spiritual groups have taken. I mean, that goes without question. But there's also really messed up things done by atheistic states and people that are into secularism. It's all BS, as George Carlin would say to some extent, but what's in your heart as far as like a path of devotion, that's going to take you further. And really, you, Gemini, you have something to offer people right now. You have something to teach them. And that's really important that you continue with that. Now, you might have some secret enemies, some unresolved business in your own karma, and that's okay. Don't judge yourself about that. Pray for peace and blessings on your enemies so you don't get caught up in the drama of hatred. The drama of hatred and blame never resolves anything. It is what is, and yeah, sometimes there can be a truth associated with it, but the deepest truth is that we're here for life, that you'd have life and that you'd have it more abundantly. I mean, that's a quote from Jesus, but I think that it's a universal quote. It's something that anyone, anywhere could accept, and accept it with love. And Mercury moving into Leo, boom, Tuesday is going to make you bolder and better in intelligence and speech. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. And if you're Cancer having a birthday this week, I want to just say happy birthday. So I'm saying happy birthday to Jock, who's turning 60. If you watch my horoscope, well, some friends of his, I'm sure, knows who he is in the Chico area. And just wishing, in memory of my friend Bill Mash, Guillermo Mash, too. I believe he would be 64 if he was still with us. And Cancer is about memory, too, and honoring people. It is that place where you have pictures of your ancestors, relatives, parents, your family on the wall. That's definitely a Cancer thing. Cooking, motherhood, all these things relate to Cancer. Also, even if you're a father, too, and you're actively involved in the raising of your children, this is about you. It's really the sign of family. So keeping that in mind, this is your renewal period, and when we get to, by next Friday, there's going to be a new moon, and there's going to be all this extra freshness. So we're kind of preparing for the freshness this week. And as the moon goes from, Aries to Taurus to on Sunday, Monday, so that'll be really sweet days. And from there, we just kind of lay low, I'd say, towards the end of the week before the new moon. Do spend a lot of time in prayer, meditation, preparation. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. I mean, you can look at this. All the grahas are like up, in the midheaven right now. Mars and Uranus in particular. So news about your work or career might be changing. Things might get a little bit more mixed up on that level. Mercury's going into your first house on Tuesday. So, I think there'll be like kind of a dawn of light. I mean, the weekend looks great with the moon in Aries on Friday and Saturday. Moon going into Taurus so there could be some travel. Moon going into Taurus, sort of like you stabilize yourself. You're dealing with your karma with the public, so just being on your best behavior with that. And really what you can do is get rid of evil and try to inspire people. Uranus's good quality is inspiring others, having some sense of inspiration. And, your social life is good this year. Good things are coming, and, there's some deep, harder stuff with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces in the 8th house, so really giving your spiritual life and your faith a chance is going to help you. Well, hello, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. I mean, I think for you, it's like being consistent in relationships, is important. And it's easy to get caught up in some kind of mirage or thing that's not necessarily real. And we have to go back and just being honest with our struggles, but also with our struggles, we share them with others, not to get other people down and not to ever blame, but to say, gosh, I could probably use some help in this area. And that will help lift you up. Now, Mercury is moving out of your 11th house into the 12th house. So, this kind of signifies like maybe over the next 4.5 weeks, you might be feeling just a little bit more isolated, a little more introverted on some note, and you're just working on your inner life. It's a great time to journal. It's a great time to pay attention to your dreams. I mean, your social life is really good right now, and there's a lot of beautiful people. There's a lot of support for you. There's not really a time to fear. Jupiter's in your midheaven. You're going to do better with your work. You're going to do better with your presentation to the public. Many good things are coming your way. Hello, Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, as we can see, as we're moving on with this, like how all the grahas are kind of more in the relationship area. So we can see that, this weekend is sort of romantic with the moon in Aries. That is your 7th house ruler, so that rules relationships. It also rules how we get in contract with people, how we make agreements with people. And in a lot of ways, the 7th house, to me, I've also called it sort of like the eye of a hurricane, because the 6th house and the 8th house are sort of difficult houses. We get a lot of challenges there. And in the 7th house, we find sort of a peace. We find sort of this calm in the storm where we can negotiate, where we want to make good alliances, where we want to have kindness. And so, Venus and Sun are in your midheaven. Mercury's there for the weekend, and it's like your responsibilities at work and with career are really in focus more right now, and things are going to get a little bit sweeter. There's going to be some money coming your way probably by the middle of the week, and you can feel good that you're in a secure place for manifesting. So, I mean, that's how I see Libra right now. I mean, there is a little bit of intensity with Mars in the 8th house. It might rev up the libido, might make you curious about occult science, and, you don't want to get into the darker side of that. You want to pray love. You want to pray healing. You want to pray forgiveness. You want to pray light. Well, greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. And as you can see, everything is on the relationship side of the chart right now. Outside of the South Node, what we're not seeing, but it's, over there in Libra, in the 12th house. So it's like, how do we make our karma good? It really is doing things for others that you'd like them to do for you. One of the most powerful things in a spiritual practice is to give something that's precious to you that you felt attached to someone else, to help them feel better about who they are and where they're going. That in itself is a beautiful practice. If you want a relationship, you don't have one, help other people get in a relationship. Become a matchmaker. Help other people, encourage them in their relationships. If you're wanting more wealth, if you're wanting more money, give to a cause or to a person that really needs some help right now and needs some money. That will also bless you. There'll be more blessings of abundance coming to you because of that. And you can never outgive God. So giving, tithing is an excellent spiritual practice. I don't think it has to be to one organization. In fact, to the contrary, I think the more places you spread it around, the better your karma becomes, because everyone's getting a little bit of your love. Everyone's getting a little bit of your support. It's super nice, or many people, maybe not everyone. And so, I mean, this is a good time for travel, vacation, but taking to that love to that agape spiritual level is super important right now. Greetings, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, it's Cancer time's sort of intense. It's the 8th house. So, we're dealing with karmatic situations that may not necessarily be our fault, or even if they are, it doesn't really matter. The best thing we can do is ask others for help. in the situation. And sometimes people go into debt a little bit with the 8th house transit, but it also is a time where you can do really good at yard sales or maybe even gold mining or silver mining. I don't know, looking for things, uh, go into secondhand stores, things like that. It's also a place where you allow other people to have their power, where you try not to let your ego get too involved in the situation, and you pay more attention to your prayer life and your spiritual life, because that's, ultimately God and all the angels coming from the Godhead are what's going to be helping you in this situation. All right, the prayers of the saints. Never forget that either. That's gonna bring things forward. Jupiter's in your 7th house, so especially if you're like a female Sagittarius, this could be a time where good relationships begin and start. All right. Greetings, Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. And Saturn is over there in Pisces in the 3rd house. The library, our siblings, our ability to travel and short distances, be mobile, to have friends and relationships, to be able to work with our hands, to make art and music or do some writing. All of these things are really good goals. These are the goals that you want. And to be working on this, now Cancer time is your partnership time. It's partnership sign. It's opposite of Capricorn. And so what Cancer asks of Capricorns is like, well, I love the fact that you're into economic stability and I feel, safe and secure in that, but I would like a little bit more expression of what your feelings are. What are you emoting? And emotions are really powerful things. Emotions really help us create love relationships, money, manifestation, anything we want. And part of it is trusting God's going to take care of it, that you don't have to feel all this weight of responsibility, but you need to flow into the possibility of love, into the possibility of wealth, and the possibility of healing, of friendships, of whatever it is that you need, that this is going to come to you by the grace of the divine. All right. Well, greetings, Aquarius, the other Saturn-ruled sign. Welcome to your horoscope. Having Pluto in the 1st house definitely is a challenge. It's going to give you insights. Pluto's retrograde. Saturn's about to go retrograde. And, when Saturn, or Pluto's going to go retrograde, Saturn's going to go retrograde. When Saturn goes retrograde, it actually gets closer to the Earth. So Saturn teaches us to work hard. Saturn teaches us that suffering is universal and that there's pain. Saturn teaches us that sometimes we're embarrassed. Saturn teaches us sometimes we're depressed. Saturn teaches us sometimes we're exhausted, but Saturn also sees when we're giving to others and considering others beyond ourselves, that he's going to give us incredible rewards. And so as long as you keep that focus, what can I do to help others as I'm helping myself in this day, then, good things start to happen. And, some people run their own business, but I think like most of us work for other people. So we have this sort of karma, like, wow, I got to help them in their purpose, and so we're lifting up others as we're simultaneously working with our own life. And the thing is, Cancer time for Aquarius is about working on your health, not getting overheated. It's really about service to others and creating good karma. And so by doing this, it's going to make things better for our families and for our own personal pocketbook, and just having the faith and just doing the right thing. That's what's going to take you forward. Greetings, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, yesterday, for those of you watching this on a Friday, Thursday, moon was in Pisces, and so there was a lot of manifestation, things going down, and this is Pacific Daylight Time right now, coming direct from Chico, California, where we're pretty much like halfway between San Diego and Seattle over here. And so it's a place that really magnifies what it is that creates West Coast culture. Although it's not on the ocean, we're actually a few hours drive to get to the ocean from here, and for various reasons. Got high mountains and the coast ranges and windy roads. It takes a long time to get there. It may not be that far on a straight shot, but we don't have a straight shot. Our clearest straight shot is going south in the valley to the San Francisco Bay Area, and that is, that's one of the quickest ways to get to the ocean from here. And anyhow, Pisces, you've got a lot of responsibility, but you also have a spiritual vision of where you want to take things and make them better. It's a fun time. Cancer opens up your heart. Cancer is your fifth house. Fifth house is our children. It's our artistic, creative expression. It's us moving into leadership. It's us traveling, enjoying life like we've never enjoyed it before, making it so good and so wonderful. And Mars is in your third house. So for Pisces is sort of a timid sign normally, but you've got a lot of courage right now, because the thing is that the third house is a karaka, an activator for Mars. Who would have thought that? This Mercury ruled kind of Gemini-like house. But it's a library, it's a place of curiosity, it's a place of making friends, it's a place of getting your basic educational needs met, from, probably like junior high through undergrad. And this is where we develop into who we become in life in a lot of ways. It's a house, it's called a Upachaya house, and so it's like we can make improvements in our life as we're going through this transit with Mars. And then the other thing is, the fifth house, it helps us just stay in love and stay in a wonderful place with each other, and that your vision is worth sharing with others, and that this is a time we really need to get together. In that we need to stop judging each other and stop putting people in categories. Oh, they're this. I don't believe in that because this is this. Your strong beliefs are not really your morality, except for your reality, the morality based on love, the morality based on tolerance, the reality based on compassion. And what are we doing to activate that? It also takes a discipline to practice, to change our mind from where we want to go. Because we all want sensual pleasures and things that we can escape to, that are interesting to us and nice, but ultimately we're here to help each other. And I'm hoping that you will carry that with you through this week, just to kind of sum things up. We've got the moon going from Aries to Cancer this week. Next Friday there'll be a new moon, and it'll help us reach our goals. And we're sort of just finishing things off this week, but we're also getting a new vision as to where to take things as we go. And we want to be considerate about all our connections, all the love in our life, and make that love be multiplied and shared all over the globe. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, send me your comments. You are such beautiful people, and I care about you all, and I want you to have a wonderful summer and a great holiday. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Tat Sat.